Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart broke down what he sees in the film study when preparing for Lagway.
First off, he's a tremendous talent. His arm talent and arm strength itself is elite. He has great size. He can make all the throws. He's got a couple, really wow throws. I think for his age and experience, he's ahead of his time in terms of his pocket movement management. A lot of freshmen abort the pocket and run out of it. He does a good job stepping up through it, and he's made several plays where he trusted the pocket and steps up and makes really good throws.
It's 79 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Well, some big dog decisions were made inside the AFC South. We will get to those coming up. We welcome you to a Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. They are always cranking 6 days a week. They make sure they give Sunday off to the people that work very hard, but you can find them Monday through Saturday right there on Phillips Highway with Beaver Chevrolet and in the AUG on US 1 with Beaver Toyota. We love them. We say thanks. They are there to wow you every single day. Now, we're here to wow you. We're going to talk everything Jaguars, NFL, Monday Night Football from last night, and then a bunch of college football that we got to throw at you. It is Florida-Georgia week, people. So we're going to get into that one with these that are starting to pull into those staging areas to get tickets to go into RV City and just slum for the next handful of days. They'll either roll in there tomorrow morning or Thursday morning, but know this, they are there to party. Some may already know that the outcome is not going to go their way, but they are still going to be there to party.
Right, the party will go their way.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
Dano and the boys, they'll be on Alligator Alley. They will be fired up and ready to go. That's for sure.
That's commitment.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
That's how it should be. Now, listen, I'm sky high right now because Walker Buehler went out last night, took the ball, got on the mound inside the Bronx, and took care of business and put the Yankees in a 3-0 hole, or as I told Coach Campo this morning, an 0-3 hole that he finds himself in right now. And Yankees are in trouble. They're in peril. And I got a bunch of Yankee buddies. Dicko, my buddy Pete from Sunset. I got so many other ones that are like this in my ear before this game. Now, not so much. I've never seen a stadium as quiet as I saw it last night. We're talking crickets in the Bronx. So,
what game are we talking about again?
Yeah. Believe me, I cannot believe that you were so tunnel vision, short-sighted that you would rather talk about things that are important to you. I'm not even gonna take a swipe. But this is a World Series and one of the biggest.
So I'm gonna admit
follow.
to you this, okay? My buddy's in town, and we went out last night, and I watched the first baseball game of the season. He's from Chicago, and he works for the newspaper up there, so he knows all about these teams. Knows all about baseball in general.
Well, I was gonna say,
so he was basically explaining the entire sport all over to me again.
I was gonna say, if I recall correctly, he may not be as diehard of a baseball fan.
He's not.
as he should.
He's not.
Be.
He'd rather talk college football too. So
Yeah. That's what happens. Look, I can understand any fan that gets in their own hole or in their own world and says, I'm not looking out because I'm immersed. I totally get it. But I do love and embrace most of the sports throughout the calendar year because I enjoy them all.
You're an equal opportunity lover is what you are.
Yeah, instead of closing my, I don't like closing it off. I like keeping it open and seeing what else is going on.
Did you watch it last night, bro?
I watched a few minutes of it, yeah.
And then
I'm not a complete football snob.
I love how Leon stuttered through my
I'm telling you right now, he probably watched like one at bat and went, all right, I'm not watching
I might have flicked the channel and it stayed and then flicked it off. Yeah, that was me.
All you needed to see is Freddie flipping Freeman. Okay, Freddie Freeman, and look, I know JJ and a lot of the Braves fans, and we can go down the line with Tony and Pross and on and on and on. they miss Freddie Freeman. And they weren't quite sure. And he has come in after finally getting the ankle healthy, and he has swatted 3 home runs, including a grand slam, first in World Series history, a walk-off winner where he cleared the bases, was just an incredible moment Friday night. Anyway, he does it again last night in Yankee Stadium, and now Yankees are in a big, big, big hole right now. All right, so a little baseball talk. We'll get Who Lit It Up cranking a little bit later on, but first, this is of football importance to all y'all inside the AFC South.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So this news coming out just a little bit ago, and it is juicy to say the least, because it's something that we were talking about yesterday. Anthony Richardson, former Gator quarterback, first-round draft pick, number 4 overall pick, a guy that was looked at to come in and save the franchise up there in Indianapolis and be that quintessential talent, the big, strong, fast, big arm, all this stuff. Bottom line is he's not fared very well completion percentage-wise. He's been up and down performance-wise. He goes into the game against the Texans and basically takes off for a run, gets hit pretty hard, gets knocked to the ground, and gets up and starts tapping the helmet, which we know is I need a sub. And Leon, you can take it from here. Have you ever seen a quarterback do that?
I've never seen the quarterback do that. Now, did he tap out because he was hurt, or did he tap out because he was tired? Because I've never seen the quarterback tap out because he was tired.
Well, he said he needed to play.
He needed to play off.
But the bottom line is, and I'm going to let you take it from here, but it sent a bad message, and they now have sat him down, and Joe Flacco will start at quarterback.
Quintessentially, the quarterback is the leader of the team. He shouldn't be tapping out any other kind of plays. Now, if he was hurt, if it was a situation where he was hurt and he had to come out for a play, well, I understand that, but not because you're tired and you lack of conditioning. So, I mean, and if you're a veteran on that team and you see that, you're concerned about it. And I don't know if they went to the coach or I don't know if the coaches made the decision, front office or the players, but, it's not a good look. I mean, he did struggle, and if you're a veteran, I'm going to put myself, I'm a veteran on this team, and if he struggled the way he's been struggling, we still got an outside shot of making the playoffs. I mean, I don't know how much more Flacco gives you a chance, but I mean, he definitely gives you a better chance. I mean, because he's been in the game, you've seen him light it up. He's lit it up on us on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
So you know his capabilities, and if you feel that you got an outside chance of making the playoffs, a veteran presence like Flacco, but now you got to remember this: he's a young guy. Quarterbacks need to be handled with a white glove. For real. They're emotional creatures.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
If you pull him, better hope he doesn't.
There's lasting impact if you pull him.
Absolutely. If you pull him,
more mentally than physically, right?
I mean, because if he's getting pulled, he can't pout. He got to be a professional. He got to go about his business like he's going to start. But I'm just telling you, quarterbacks, they're a different beast.
So, Matt, you mentioned yesterday the number of one-score games they've been in.
I'll go to it right now. You ready? Just from the jump. You ready?
Yeah.
Texans, first game, lost by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay, lost by 6. Bears, won by 7. Every one of them is a one-possession game.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers, won by 3. Jaguars, lost by 3.
And that was the Flacco game.
Tennessee, won by 3.
Flacco game.
Dolphins, won by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Houston, lost by 3. Every flipping game they've played is a one-possession game. That's as much as anything. That's why if you're Shane Steichen, you got to say, all right, maybe we could be where, at the very least, much better than 4-4 in a division that's gettable. And if you look, so Anthony's attempted 133 passes, Flacco's attempted 108, so it's comparable, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now look at the differences. AR's completion percentage is 44.4%. Flacco's completion percentage is 65.7%. 21% difference.
21 points in completion percentage is massive.
Hang on, it's like from here to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yards, AR 958, Flacco 716. Average per attempt, AR 7.2 because he throws that thing deep and connects every once in a while. Flacco 6.6. That's also a significant difference. Almost half a yard. That's a big difference because that thing's measured in points. Now, yards per game, Flacco 179, AR 159. And here's the key. Touchdowns to interception ratio, 4-7 for AR. 4 tuds, 7 picks.
Yeah.
Flacco, 7 tuds, 1 pick.
And the one thing that you would always say about Flacco.
And real quick, AR sacked 9 times, Flacco, the statue, 6 times.
That's another big number. He doesn't give the ball away. He doesn't make bad. He doesn't make bad decisions. Ball away. At the very least, JF5, we used to call him when he was on his way to winning a Super Bowl with the Ravens. That's what he did. He walked into the NFL. He and John Harbaugh in lockstep, and they made it to the postseason 6 straight years. They won the Super Bowl, all that kind of stuff. But he is a guy that will put you in good positions instead of bad positions.
I mean, but here's the question you got to ask yourself: your organization. I mean, Flacco's 40, bro.
Yeah,
he's 40 years old. I mean. AR is supposed to be your future of your franchise. I mean, do you put him on the shelf? Because Flacco probably has got another year or so. I mean, you're not going to commit to him long term or anything like that. I mean, but if you want to win right now, you got to go. You got to go with the high hand.
Well, he's right.
Well, let me say this real quick. Don't throw that extra year on him, bro. He's 39.
Okay, I'll round it off. How about that?
Don't throw that extra year on him.
It's coming.
Which is a big deal in the league.
It is.
But you know what? Like, I want to ask you this. Knowing what I just told you about the numbers, but now also knowing that AR gives you that different advantage of he can do stuff with his legs. He can put defenses in constant conflict with his legs. Doesn't that put it over the top? Or no?
It should. It absolutely should.
So you think it's all about tapping out?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it's about tapping out. I just think that 10 of 32, bro, that's bad.
Right. And
he had 9 drops in that game.
Okay. So, but
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So even if you add those in, it's still not where it should be. And we can.
I mean, 19 to 32 is pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'd take 19 to 32 all day long.
Well, yeah, I agree, but we're not going to put all the drops on the receiver.
Well, one of them was in the end zone too.
Yeah. Well,
which is a dub. If he catches it as a dub.
The dime throw that he threw to Josh Downs was beautiful. It really was. But at the same time, we're sitting here. We do this all day long with Trevor and his receivers. And, yeah, there have been a handful of drops, but there are also the metrics world will give you catchable balls, stuff like that. They break it down quite a bit. Anyway, he's just struggling. If a guy wasn't struggling and then tapped out, he'd be right back in there playing.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, when it comes to the offensive line, to be quite honest with you, and not taking anything away from Anthony Richardson because he's a scrambler, he can move around. But as offensive line, you like to know where your quarterback's going to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's easy to protect a guy.
It's easy to protect a guy like that. Like if you got Flacco, Flacco's not going nowhere, except for the 22-yard run he did on us.
Plus, he can move a little bit.
That was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
He knows how to slide a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like with AR, it's all right, 1 not there, 2 not there, go. Whereas Flacco, it's 1 not there, 2 not there. Hang on a second, 3.
Yeah, and he delivers that throw at the very least 6 yards. 8 yards, 3 yards, whatever. He just keeps moving the chains. Speaking of moving.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, we had heard this guy's name. A lot of wide receivers have been on the move. We know who those were. The most recent was DeAndre Hopkins heading out of Nashville and moving on, joining the Chiefs. Now the Ravens have traded for Deontay Johnson, wide receiver, courtesy of Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo. So he is now going to head from Carolina, which we all know is an abyss right now. It's a sinking ship up there in Charlotte, the Queen City, and he's now headed to Baltimore. Interesting.
When are we going to hear about Cam Robinson being traded?
I don't know. Let's get into that a little bit. We brought this subject up yesterday, and we basically called it, kind of promoted a trade at Tuesday. So let's at least set up a couple of possibilities with your Jags as to where this team might be going as this season is heading further and further south. Will they move guys? Will there be guys that other teams are picking up the phone and calling Jacksonville and asking about? So we'll get into that coming up. It's XL Primetime, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're missing Coach Campo today. We normally have him in on Tuesday, but he is enjoying a nice, well-deserved week off.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. The big stories from the weekend's big games.
They're fans of football.
That's what Postgame Monday is for.
What a game. Amazing.
Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Hacker here, and guys, the countdown is over. I didn't just hit the 100-pound mark. I blew past it thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. 107 pounds gone just like that. More weight than a quarter keg of beer. Speaking of beer, here's where it gets fun. We're throwing a big celebration at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach. Yeah, you heard that right. A weight loss party at Mr. Chubby's. The irony's juicier than their wings, but here's the thing. I can celebrate at Mr. Chubby's and still keep the pounds off. If you didn't know, yes, wings are still on the menu while losing weight with Awaken 180 weight loss. Join me in 1010XL on November 9th for the Florida and Texas game, and you could win a spot at my table. Food is included. There'll be ticket giveaways and more for the celebration. If I can shed a whole Mr. Chubby and still throw a party at one, what's holding you back? Call Awaken 180, 844-346-1800, or hit up awaken180weightloss.com and let's get it done.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Brian Thomas Jr. will get more than 80.5 yards, or Jahmyr Gibbs will rush for more than 70.5, or Justin Herbert will throw for more than 235.5 yards? It's just that simple. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure, and when my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there, Prize Picks. Run your game.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center offers women's health, diagnostic, and screening services, including contract-enhanced mammography and total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook served up a masterpiece against the Green Bay Packers. The teal and black punter recorded 5 punts for 298 yards, with his longest going for 73 yards. Cook had the right ingredients to deliver a great performance, and he's your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Florida Gators. And by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off with an epic in-state showdown. The Florida Gators and South Florida Bulls go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Sports Foundation Invitational. Be there Monday, November 4th at Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus South Florida to start the college basketball season on November 4th in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
Hey, where's your sense of adventure?
They don't cook, but they serve up spicy sports talk.
Sure, it's on the menu.
Helmets and heels.
That is a meal.
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Bands on 1010XL.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
XL Primetime, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota bringing you today's show. Thanks to all of y'all for hanging out with us. However you find us, we totally appreciate it. The app, whether it's just 92.5 FM as you're cruising around, AM 1010, desktop streaming, whatever it might be, we definitely appreciate it. All right, we are going to get into some trade possibilities for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who you might see as merch that can be moved and get a decent price for it. And I don't want to go 10 cents on the dollar, pennies on the dollar when it comes to the contract that they signed for and what you ship them off for. Nothing like that, but there definitely could be some out there. All right, off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. This is referring to Anthony Richardson. Anyone that watched Gator football is not shocked by those stats from AR-15, but he has so much potential, LMAO. And so I get it. And that's the thing. When a team drafts somebody, and I'll just remind people, this was a saucy nug back in the day. He was tied with Mitch Trubisky for the fewest college starts before being drafted in the first round. And it was saucy nugs. 13 or 17, something like that. It was such a low, 13 I believe it was, low number. Well, remember, Chicago reached for Trubisky. Obviously, Indy selected him fourth, and there was just all this raw potential that you talked about. You didn't really know.
I mean, he hasn't played a lot of football because he was injured last year.
Still could manifest into something good.
I mean, he could definitely, like you said, manifest into a quality player. It's just that does the team have time for it? The team right now is 4-4. They lost, like Mac was saying, a bunch of close one-possession games.
Four one-possession games. They won four and they lost four, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, at some particular time, I mean.
Well, those weren't all him. Flacco was.
Yeah, Flacco was in the mix of some of them.
But they are kind of they are basically the epicenter of the NFL, what the NFL wants to be, the one-possession game. That's who they are.
Yeah.
You can't afford to have a quarterback that's up and down if you're that kind of team.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, right? you want somebody that's going to be more consistent.
Yeah.
And Flacco's got the experience and the consistency here and there.
Yeah.
If he's protected.
Look, when he makes the play, he has a lot of wow plays in him, and that's what makes every coach and GM salivate over the idea, hey, let me get my mitts on this guy, and I can send him in the right direction and let him be that meteoric rising star.
I think the most important thing is how is Anthony going to react to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's got to be a professional about it.
Sure.
Pouting doesn't help you any. He's got to learn from it.
Yeah.
And then when his turn comes, because listen, Flacco's 39, not 40. He can get hit. he can get injured. And then, he might get injured somewhere down the stretch, and then they maybe depend on Anthony Richardson on the last 5-6 games to see if they can get in the playoffs or not.
And look, AR's a totally chill cat when it comes to stuff like that. Do you remember Tua when he was close to getting sat down, or when he went through?
Yeah.
Remember the concussion, and he was applauding and cheering and all that, and you're like, wait a minute, he looks relieved, and he ended up coming back and balling. So,
yeah, I think a lot of it is honestly that the Colts realize, or the Colts management, or Shane Steichen realizes we're number one at the top of the wild card hunt. That's number one. Number two, had we won that game Sunday, we're tied for the lead in the South. So the division is there. And now they're 2 games back of the Texans, who they've already lost to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think if they're probably thinking, look, if we're going to get into playoffs, we've got to give the rest of the team the best chance to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they think it's it. I'm not saying it's Flacco. I'm just telling you that's probably what they're thinking.
Well, Shane Steichen, we talked to 1010 Ozzy in the pre-production meeting, and he happens to like that team. I don't get it. There's a few people in our building that
happens to like the Colts, right?
Yeah, with the horseshoe,
right?
So anyway, he's talking.
I picked the Colts to win the division, by the way.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Well, he's talking about Steichen.
Don't sprain your wrist, pat yourself in the back.
He's
Well,
talking
it's
about
not happening now.
He's talking about Steichen struggling a little bit just for his job, and so you can do a quick comparison here. He is probably thinking in that vein, hey, if I don't make a change, especially when a guy that should never, ever tap his helmet and say, I need a break here, quarterbacks just can't do that.
I mean,
and
a 24-year-old quarterback can't do that. He's in the prime of his career.
Yeah, and then big-time stars like a Leon Searcy in a locker room, and in this case it was Ryan Kelly, basically saying, that ain't cool, man. You can't do that. So anyway, Steichen's paying attention to his locker room, and he decides that he's going to go ahead and make this change. We'll find out whether it backfires him or not. But let's compare it real quick. Mike Tomlin had a winning football team when he sat Justin Fields down and said, I'm going to go with Russell, because he said, as much as we're winning and we're happy with that, Justin ain't quite getting us where we need to go. And a little bit later on in the year, we need to be a better football team offensively. And that's why he went with Russell.
Well, I mean, listen, the coaches have got to have a fingerprint on the locker room, too. Their voices are being spoken. And probably with the Colts and with the Steelers in those kind of situations. And like I said, this part of the season, each team is pole positioning for the playoffs. That's what their mindset is. And like you said, they had won that game last week. They're tied with the Texans. So the coaching staff had to make a decision.
Well, they're tied with a one-game lead.
With a one-game lead,
on the Texans,
it would have been a breaker.
So the coaching staff got to make a decision. Do we keep going along with this experiment, or do we go with something that we know that is finely tuned?
Yeah. But one,
and
like
saying
you said,
and Flacco's family tune is
he's
offset.
Yeah, but he is an experienced vet that doesn't cost you a lot, and he rode the wave last year with Cleveland. Good defense, decent running game. Even with Nick Chubb out, they were able to play it into the postseason. He got exposed against that Houston defense in the postseason, but hell, he was riding a big old wave. But you take a look at it, he's a decade and a half older than Anthony Richardson. Are you ready to trash your number 4 pick overall for a guy that's only going to be in the league for a handful of weeks and months? That's the question you got to ask.
Well, I was wrong about that. They've already lost the Texans twice.
Yeah.
So they're done.
Okay. Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah, they opened the season with a close game.
Right. So they literally need the Texans to just fall apart.
Right. So they're 0-2 against them. And but like we said, that would have evened them up had they won that game.
Even them up, not only record, but head-to-head in the games.
Exactly.
And within the division too, because now they're 1-3 in the division, and the Texans, I believe, are 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Texans are 3-0, and they're 1-3. They would have been 2-2, and the Texans would have been 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a veteran, the hell with the future. We want to win now.
Yeah. That's what the veteran's saying, and that may be what the coach is saying too. All right, real quick, Derek from Indiana. It's not like AR had some special accuracy year at Florida. Colts scouts literally saw AR overthrow a Hail Mary by 20 yards and said, yeah, let's draft him. We all remember that one. That was in the game against the Knowles. Matty referenced that one.
No, it was against Vandy. It went in the freaking stands.
Yeah, but also the
stands.
The ones in Tallahassee, too. And I'll remember the one in Tallahassee.
In the stands.
I get it. And there was I believe the number was they went through.
We love our quarterback group, but that thing was in the stands.
I got to remember this number, but something in the neighborhood of 20-some minutes of real game time without completing a pass against FSU. So that was pretty significant. Anyway, that's happening up there in Indianapolis.
He clearly has talent. Okay,
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. They clearly did not help him Sunday against the Texans. I mean, if one of the one ball in the end zone is caught, they win the game. And then are you talking about that? If he's 11 of 32 with a touchdown and they win the game, are you talking about replacing him?
Well, if he still taps out, they might.
True, that's true.
Yeah, like we said.
But still, you're tied for the division lead.
Mm-hmm.
You just beat the division leader. I don't know that you're making a change at that point.
No, they probably would not. You can't bench somebody, at least not most of the time, off of a win, except for this. He would not have been benched had he not done that. I believe that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
10 for 32 is not good, man.
Yeah. Well, still, but that had been happening.
Even with the drops, 10 for 32 is not good.
What's his completion percentage for the year?
It's not good. It's 44-4.
Right. So this has been happening. This is nothing new in that regard. So, all right. So anyway, we'll keep it going. We mentioned the idea that somebody in Duval might get dealt out of town. We talked about Deontay Johnson heading to Baltimore, traded from Carolina, and this is going to be that move towards the trade deadline. So the names, Cam Robinson, Walker Little, who did step in for him, Cisco is coming up on a contract. You can throw out a handful of other guys that are out there. Go to the defensive side. Devin Lloyd, former first-round draft pick. He's going to have a contract coming up. Anyway, we'll get back into that, trade possibilities and what the feel is, the temperature out there in the National Football League is maybe some big names moving from teams that, well, it ain't working out right now to teams that they want to punch through and get to the postseason.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
I've known Glenn Coleman for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group. Construction is the name of the game when it comes to the Preferred Group. They've been doing it for a long, long time. And matter of fact, I've been in my house enjoying everything that I love about my house, and they did so much with me in terms of my roof, my drywall, my gutters, just on and on and on. And the remodel addition, the screened-in back porch, everything, just outstanding work, and you can count on it from them. Now, when that roof does need replacement, take that seriously. It's a big expense. Make sure you get it done properly with licensed technicians that can get the job done. You can log on, preferredroofingjacks.com, and don't forget remodels, additions, or that brand new porch in the back. You can check out preferredbuildersjacks.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Are spooky plumbing problems haunting your home this Halloween? Don't be scared. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your ghost-busting plumbing heroes.
Hi there, I'm Brian, your friendly plumber. Is your toilet making ghostly groans, or is your sink dripping like a vampire's fangs?
Don't let plumbing problems give you the heebie-jeebies. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 and chase those spooky issues away.
Duck Duck Rooter, because even plumbing nightmares deserve a happy ending. Quacktastic service guaranteed.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 29, 2018, Golden State shooting guard Klay Thompson breaks NBA record for most three-pointers in a game with 14 in the Warriors game against the Bulls.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Discover luxury storage life at The Shed, opening soon in Atlanta Beach, for a place to store your cars, boats, and toys. A place for an office, a golf simulator, or a man cave. AC and plumbing available. The list of premium uses is endless. Take a tour on Instagram or go to theshedjacks.com.
Anytime I need to send flowers for any reason to anybody, there's no choice for me but Kuhn Flowers. This is 1010XL's Frank Frangie, and I've used Kuhn Flowers dozens of times over the years. Make Kuhn Flowers your choice for when you need to send a floral arrangement.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars' defense has had its fair share of struggles under new defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen. Through 8 weeks, the Jaguars' defense has given up the 4th most total yards in the NFL. Jaguars analyst Jeff Lageman this morning on Jaguars Today with his concerns about the defense.
It's a quarterback league, which means it's a passing league, which means the numbers on defense that matter are third down percentage and yards passing allowed, takeaways, total points. And right now, in all those metrics, the Jaguars defense is significantly worse than they have been the last 2 years, and that's a major concern.
Lageman this morning on Jaguars Today. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we've been talking NFL. Anthony Richardson, what's going on with him? He's being sat down up in Indianapolis. Colts, by the way, I don't know. They got flexed into Sunday Night Football as your hometown team got hosed, flexed out. It's now a 4 o'clock kick against the Eagles on Sunday. And so you will see Flacco under the lights as they get their game going. We'll find out. Maybe Indianapolis was thinking about maybe that Sunday night stage a little bit because I think when they flexed Indy in there, they're thinking, all right, if AR is looking good, he's one of the future stars of the National Football League, but it did not play out that way for him. By the way, our man, E.T. in the morning, a Bud Light watch party at Mr. Chubby's on Sunday, and you need to make note of the time because it has been moved up. 4:05 kick instead of that Sunday night. But head on out, join E. They've got tickets, prizes. You got a chance to win tickets to the next Jaguars game, courtesy of Bud Light specials and all that. And Mr. Chubby's, you know how good they've got their setup there. They will be in Ponte Vedra with E.T., so make sure you drop on by and check that out. Now, we mentioned trade possibilities. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you two, Leon Searcy and Matt Hayes, on the spot. You got to pick one guy that you think might be moved before the trade deadline. Let's do it.
Here comes the judge.
Order in the court.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, here comes the judge, brought to you by Campione Law. Right. You find yourself in front of the judge, you need the proper representation. You need a local law attorney office to take care of you. Chris Campione and his entire crew, they can definitely take care of you. So if you run into trouble, make sure you have that name in the back of your mind. Get in touch with them, CampioneLaw.com. So I want you to select who you think might be the most likeliest of trades if Jacksonville sends one packing. Name your guy first, Leon.
Well, my client is Cam Robinson.
Okay, you are an offensive lineman representing an offensive lineman. Matt Hayes, you have chosen as a likely trade possibility of moving out of town.
Travis Etienne.
Okay, so we have picked now an offensive lineman and Travis Etienne, the running back. These two guys have basically one lost his job because of the concussion. The other lost his job because he was hurt as well.
I don't think he lost his job, but
okay.
He's lost carries.
All right, so let's set it up. You guys get to argue both sides who you think might be on their way out of town. Big Searcy.
All right, well, Your Honor, my client was on the concussion protocol and was cleared and still didn't start in the game last week against
I object.
Yeah.
Already? You object already? We just started.
Do we know that he was cleared? Or
yes, he was.
Oh, he was cleared.
Or was allegedly he was cleared?
Oh, no, he was cleared.
He was cleared.
Did they say he was cleared? Or
he was cleared.
All right.
He was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, he was a healthy scratch, not an inactive. He was cleared. He was available, and they did not start him.
Well, here's the reason why he's a proponent for being traded because, he had an outstanding rookie year. Former second-round pick out of Alabama, quoted by Nick Saban as one of the best offensive linemen he ever coached.
The best, he said.
The best.
Yeah.
The best offensive lineman. Had an outstanding rookie season. I mean, I thought this guy was greatness was shining all upon him. Then injuries and suspensions and up and down roller coaster ride. He had probably three of the worst atrocious games I've ever seen this season. But he bounced back. He bounced back. He's solid. He's intense. He plays when he wants to play. At times,
right?
But he's consistent. 6'6", 325, long arms, good feet, good hands, good movement. So I think he would be a viable offensive lineman for any team that needs a blindside.
And that's a commodity.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Counselor, good case. You have selected Travis Etienne, Matt Hayes.
I have in these desperate times, Your Honor. I call for desperate measures. The franchise that's known for its hoarding of sixth-round draft picks is trying to get more at this point. And I submit to you that Travis Etienne, because of his dynamic ability, because of his speed and breakaway threat, and the fact that he could take it to the house, the proverbial house, anytime he touches it, very good receiver, much improved as a blocker, he'll have more trade value than Cam Robinson. Because Cam Robinson on the block is just another free agent that even if you trade him, the other team's still got to sign him. So the other team's going to be giving away a pick for maybe nothing. Maybe Cam walks at the end of the year or wherever he goes. All right? At the very least, you've got Travis Etienne for what? A minimum of would be you conceivably could be 3 years, a minimum. And you might be right at the end of his career at that point. So I submit to you, Your Honor, the fiscally smart move by a team would be to take a guy who can take it to the house every touch and that you'll still have a lengthy amount of guaranteed time with for, let's say you get a fourth-round pick for him. You might be able to get a fourth-round pick for Cam Robinson. Maybe. I think more along the line of 5.
Speculation. That's speculation.
Sustained. I am not overruling that because he threw that fourth rounder in there and just tried to make it stick with the jury, and there's no way.
Totally. I tried to sway the jury.
No way you can prove that. All right, now listen, I'd have to ask this one very important question because this is the kind of the rub that I find myself in. It costs less if you're a trade partner with Jacksonville to go get Etienne. And I do like the argument that Matt's putting up because this guy is a dynamic. He can get open. He certainly can make big plays for you, run game, pass game. But then I also think of how important the left tackle is. And yeah, it comes with a price, but Cam Robinson can step in immediately and help somebody who has a significant injury.
As could Travis Etienne.
All right, last word for you.
As could Travis Etienne. That's number one. He and you're talking about a guy who can change the dynamic ability of your offense, the way you score points. In this league, it's all about scoring points. So that's my final vote.
Your Honor, it is about scoring points, but it's also about protecting the guy who helps you score points, which is the quarterback. If his blind side is not protected, he can't throw from the ground.
You can either have a guaranteed 8 more games, you can have a guaranteed 8 more games in 2 more years.
Well, we're looking at
for essentially the same draft pick.
All I have to say is Minnesota, Your Honor.
Okay, there it is. I have made my ruling.
They need a left back.
And I love that Leon got that last little bit in there right there because that's the deciding vote. I have to rule in the favor of the left tackle because he did start to pick up his play. He has come through concussion protocol, so he is technically healthy, whereas the other gentleman, Travis Etienne, dealing with a hamstring and a shoulder, which makes it doubly tough for a running back. Wear and tear,
left that out, on purpose.
Wear and tear might be starting to show up on him, and it might have been what led to Tank Bigsby getting more carries, and therefore Tank has shined enough to where it's going to be hard to sit him down.
Before you hit the gavel.
I already have.
Before you hit the gavel for one final time, you realize that the Vikings are taking a big risk on a guy who may have played his 3 worst games of his career this year.
And rose from the ashes of his
like a phoenix,
but bad play, and picked it up. So I am ruling in favor of Cam Robinson as the best trade possibility.
How about the Cowboys
with
with Etienne? Is that not a good trade?
Well,
partner?
they do not have a run game, and I was looking, and that's why I'm glad Leon listed his, because that's kind of what got him over the top. When you list that, you may have missed the opportunity to say that a little earlier, because that would have helped your argument.
Well, if I'd have known we were throwing out trade possibilities, Your Honor, I could have given numerous trade possibilities.
Listen, don't come into my courtroom unprepared, all right? Don't come into my courtroom
including the AFC South leader in the Texans. Although I don't know if they trade within your division. But
no.
They might if you're desperate enough.
All right, there you go. If you land in front of the judge, make sure you have proper representation. CampionLaw.com. Log on, check them out. Chris Campion and his entire crew, they can definitely do it for you. Local attorneys that are ready to take care of you. Let's just stay on this subject for one hot second, because when you think about the guys we mentioned, and Cam certainly more likely to be moved.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm just going to break it down this way. When you consider him versus Walker Little, and then Travis Etienne more likely to be moved when you consider him versus Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby has less wear and tear on his body right now. So obviously, if they were going to move forward, they're going to take him. They already picked up that option on Etienne. They can still move him along with that option, but they did basically pick up that 5th year on him.
Hey, if Kirk doesn't break his collarbone, you got Parker Washington.
Yeah.
He's out there too.
He might have been one of the guys that they were looking at moving. And so at the very least, and believe me, I'm not a balky backer here in saying that he was prepared to do these types of things by drafting Walker Little to replace Cam, by drafting Tank to replace Etienne, by drafting Parker to replace Kirk. Well, that's what you're supposed to do all the time and be prepared for the next guy. But of the guys we're talking about, he signed Kirk to an expensive deal, and he would have been pretty darn pricey next year. So you are right.
It's weird how he wasn't prepared for the offensive line, interior of the offensive line, or for the edge on the defensive line. It's weird. Prepared for a backup running back, yes, but not the interior of the offensive line or the edge on defense.
And by the way, we didn't mention a couple of other guys. We may do it later, but Devin Lloyd and Andre Sisco are both also guys that were high priced. They moved up in the first round to get Devin Lloyd. I'm not quite sure you know exactly who Devin Lloyd is right now as a linebacker, his perfect position, his perfect playmaking ability.
What are you going to get for him?
I don't know that we know. You probably won't get a whole lot, but this goes to your song and dance, Matt, when it comes to Devin. Put him in a position to make plays as a 6'3", 250
They're clearly not going to do that. If they haven't done it yet, they're clearly not going to do that.
Or they've tried and it hasn't worked. And
True, could be that.
Right,
They tried in practice and he doesn't get it, but I doubt that.
I'm not saying you're wrong, because one thing that you have mentioned is that, watch him go off somewhere else and be either properly coached or properly schemed defensively. Andre Sisco has lost some of his luster coming out of last year. He really had a strong year coming into this year, contract year. You're thinking, okay, this cat's ready to emerge as one of those leaders on the defensive side. He and Tyson Campbell. Campbell gets his deal. Cisco doesn't. And now, as we've said a bunch, Leon, a contract year means you can make some or you can lose some.
Yeah, he's burning money. He is. Absolutely, he's burning money.
And so it's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know whether either one of those guys would be targets. You guys let us know what you think on the text line, 641-1010. You can jump in on that subject because that's where they are right now, trying to figure out the season slipped quickly out of their hands. 8 ball games, 6 losses. And now you do have to think about your future. What can we get?
There's no one else that – honestly, and I said this a couple weeks ago, if I was Evan Ingram, I'd go to my agency. I went out, man. I want to go where I can, win something.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I get it. He's getting paid very well here. I thought he was going to have a much better situation. The hamstring hurt him.
They still don't throw him the ball enough. Didn't throw him the ball enough last week.
Right. Well, he went from 10 targets, 10 catches to being ghostly quiet the next week. They featured him early, but then they didn't get back to him. But remember, we came out of that one going, you need to target Brian Thomas. Well, it took a while for Brian Thomas to get targeted this last game. And then when he did, he made plays, obviously, and then hopefully escaped injury. So you got all that stuff that's out there. There's a lot of talented players on this team, but they haven't all been brought together the way you'd like.
Dude, his last 3 games, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Evan Ingram. Mm-hmm. Last 3 games, 20 targets, 19 catches.
Yeah, uber productive. Uber.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, and so, look, the game in between the loss to the Bears where he had 10 targets, 10 catches, the game in between, they ran the ball and just basically pot roasted their way to a win over the Patriots. They just slow cooked them. And so that's why they did that. They went away from throwing it to everybody at that point.
I'll give you another one. Last 4 games for BTJ. Last 4 games, okay? He's got 23 targets, 16 catches.
Yeah.
Throw him the ball.
Yeah, dude, they did last week, and he made big catches. That's for sure.
4.
All right.
They threw the ball to him 4 times last week.
Yeah, but
he got hurt. Yeah. He got hurt, but still, 4 times in 2.5 quarters is not enough.
Yeah, and that has a hell of a lot to do with that actual offense, that quarterback decision-making, playmaking, blocking, all of it.
I don't disagree, but you can also, and Leon can attest, he can be my backup here. He can be my attorney here.
Yeah.
You can also set up plays schematically to get the ball to the guy.
And get him,
even if he's bracketed, you can get him the ball.
And get it to him early.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, motion him.
Yeah.
Put him in positions where
Formationally, there's so many different things you can do to get him the ball.
Mm-hmm. Stem him.
Yeah.
Trips, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Heck, if you got the ball to him early, you might have had a different script because this team stunk it up for a quarter and a half without a first down. That's for sure. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. They are there to wow you every single day. And by the way, they have a cool thing going on with their Halloween celebration we'll be telling you about. They have it set up where you can come through the dealership, the trunk or treat. So hope that you'll be able to take advantage of that at Beaver Chevy on Phillips Highway or Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine. You can log on and get the details at either one of their websites. We head into the 3 o'clock hour. We haven't talked any college football yet. Let's go XLP to the CFP. Our top 12 headed for the playoff. At least we think they are. That's coming up.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers who brought the house to their feet.
Listen to this place.
Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game.
Wide open and just what they needed.
Experience the universal difference on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Tony Baselli gets up early Monday morning to share a big football breakfast with you.
Some French toast and sausage patties.
Hall of Fame Monday, 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
The Jaguars are facing off against the Minnesota Vikings Sunday, November 10th for the Jag Salute to Service game. See the Shell White alternative helmets in action for the first time and join us in honoring our military all game long. Kickoff is 1 p.m. Don't miss this matchup and lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC, Zero Res.
Hey, Icken here for Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code JAX to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, man, run your game.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help towards solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you're like most Americans, you have a ton of credit card debt and you're paying insane interest rates on that debt every month. Same for car loans and personal loans. Stop getting ripped off. Let Loan Pronto consolidate that debt for you at a significantly lower rate using the equity in your home. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit can get you up to $500,000. So you can consolidate your debt in as fast as 5 days. Their average client saves over $1,000 every month by doing this. Right now is the best time to act. With an Express Equity Line of Credit, you can access up to 90% of your home's equity, usually without an appraisal. Don't put it off. Get your financial house in order for the new year and call Loan Pronto now to see what you can save. It's a free quote and there's no credit pull, unlike the other guys. Call now, 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg, but Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There are a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesofJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by USA Part. Last night, the Orlando Magic hosted the Indiana Pacers and had a comeback win of 119-115. Magic's all-star forward Paolo Banchero lit up the court, dropping 50 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 blocks. Banchero set a new record, becoming the youngest Magic player to ever record 50-plus points, along with 10-plus rebounds and more than 5 assists in a game, as well as being the first 50-point performance of this NBA season. Magic's head coach Mosley spoke on his performance.
It was one of those games where you're just watching and you're coaching, but you're sitting there just enjoying his process and watching a great player perform. You know, he was an artist out there, and, you know, obviously tough shots made, put the team on his back with guys down, and then guys stepped up and stepped in, and you know, they joined in the party.
It's 75 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time in temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think it's the way we talk to the young people. I think the things that we talk about, the messaging, how we bring really good people into the building. We talk about doing things together. We talk about culture, and everyone talks about it. But then we go out and we live it every day. And I think we back up our actions. We're very honest. We're very open. And this is a real program. It's not fake. It's not a politician running this program talking fast and BSing everybody. This is a real program, and for all the recruits out there, this is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football,
this is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That was Mike Elko. That is the current coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, and of course, that had nothing to do with the previous head coach, Jimbo Fisher. He was not referring to him. He was not trolling him. He was not reminding everyone out there in Aggieland just how much better they've got it now that the Golden Corral, the new Century Buffet head coach, is running things at College Station. I got a big kick out of it.
You call him the Golden Corral?
Yeah. He's the Golden Corral of coaches, man. He's everything. He's a full buffet, man. He came in there and immediately turned things around. He's not interested in winning a beauty pageant. He's interested in coaching some ball. Mm-hmm. Didn't you get a kick out of the fact that he said that had nothing to do with Jimbo Fisher, what he just said?
I mean, I get it. Clearly it was a shot at Jimbo, but I think, unfortunately, I think because of what happened at A&M, because he was given so much money there by A&M, which is just a desperate program and has always been a desperate program. They're so desperate to catch up to Texas, right? Mm-hmm. Jimbo won a national championship at Florida State. Jimbo won 29 straight games at Florida State. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's a bad coach.
No, he just became a bad one.
Yeah, I think Jimbo will go somewhere else and he'll have success. It's just not the right situation. And I'm telling you right now, the odds are, okay, and I like Mike Elko too. I'm with you. I like him. Mm-hmm. The odds are we're going to be saying the same thing about him in 3 years. That place, you can't win there. For whatever reason, you can't win there. It's just like in Florida. For whatever reason, outside of Spurrier and Urban Meyer, they don't win there.
Well, Jimbo proved that theory correct because they paid him gobs and gobs and gobs of money. Remember now, he was the first 10 years, $75 million cat. Now, they're making more money now.
A lot more money now.
But he was the first guy to crack that egg. A decade contract. Guaranteed.
He was the first all guaranteed contract.
Yeah, just nuts. Well, anyway, Elko is loving it right now. The Cracker Barrel of a coach. He is loving it right now.
Which is it, Cracker Barrel or Country Buffet?
It's all of them. It's all of them. But guess what we got? We got work to do right now.
We do.
Time to drop some college knowledge on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Modelo, the official beer of the College Football Playoff.
Now, we had to sort through this like we do weekly, and a cold Modelo may have been in order as I cracked the cap, got rid of that beautiful gold seal, and started to look at everything. We know we love our Modelos here on XL Primetime, that's for sure. Now, I hate to say this because this it's a bit of a downer to start. 9 weeks complete in the college football schedule. So we are getting closer to the XLP, to the CFP. 9 weeks gone, heading into the first Saturday of November. We got some teams that are fighting like heck to get in there. We'll mention some of the Olies, the ones that are on the outside looking in. I like when you lead off, Leon.
Yeah.
We're going to go 12 to 9.
We're going to go 12 to 9. All right. Number 12, they're going to be replaced by Iowa State. Okay. But they were replaced by Boise State. Boise State, Gently. What do you have? 139 yards against UNLV?
Yeah, Ashton Jeanty went off.
He went off a little bit.
That was a low number for him.
Are you telling me you have a Group of 5 team ranked ahead of Iowa State? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what
Good for you, bro.
That's right.
Crazy good.
Good for you. I like that.
Yes, absolutely. So I got Boise State at 12. At 11, I love this team. They beat Washington last week. Indiana at number 11. My number 10 team, as hesitant as I was to put them there, but Navy had 6 turnovers in that game, bro. 6 turnovers.
I know.
It was terrible.
I know.
Had absolutely no shot in that game. But I
told y'all no Dame.
Yeah, I know. I drank the Kool-Aid. I thought Navy was going to give them a tussle, but then when
bless America.
Hey, listen, when I saw that offensive line against that defensive line against Navy, I said they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in big trouble.
They're in trouble. So at number 10, I got Notre Dame, and at number 9, I got Clemson Tigers.
All right, let's start out with number 12. Before I get into number 12, let me say this. If you think Florida State was all up in arms about not getting in the playoff last year, wait till you see what happens if Army goes 12-0, then wins the Navy game, okay?
America's game.
And then beats them again, so they'll be 13-0.
By the way, let me at least jump in. Florida State had a hell of a lot better argument than maybe Army will have.
Hang on a second, okay? Army's right now strength of schedule, the combined one-loss record of the teams they've played so far right now. You want to have a guess at it?
I'm going to say 13-45.
Close. Just 18-35. So close.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But here's what I'm talking about. Like, if you get a service academy that's unbeaten, I mean, there's going to be some pull, baby. There's going to be some God Bless America heartstrings pull to get them in that playoff.
So you're saying presidential?
I'm not saying well, depending on who gets selected, if one of the guys gets selected, and by saying guy, you know who I'm talking about, he might just come out and say it's un-American if they don't get selected.
But Florida State last year, they went from undefeated to 1-7 this year. It just was a hell of a thing that they had to endure post Jordan Travis.
Right. So, but my point is, it's going to be very hard, I think, to ignore the fact that they're unbeaten and Boise State has one loss.
It's a great story.
Boise State's a much better team.
Yeah.
There's any question about that. Yeah. Okay? But I'm just throwing that out there just to keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Because the more they win, there's going to be more of a groundswell among people to say, Army, it's a great story. It's America. It's, yeah. Anyway, Boise State. All that to tell you, I've got Boise State at 12. I got the Hoosiers at 11. They're in. Dangerous spot for them, by the way, this week at East Lansing against Michigan State. Michigan State plays well at home, and I think Aiden Charles is starting to figure it out, their quarterback. He's going to be really good, by the way. I got Notre Dame at 10, and I know there's really shouldn't be any reason that they're ahead of Texas A&M at 9, but I just think they're playing better. Texas A&M's playing better than them right now, and Texas A&M's a different team now with Marcel Reed at quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
And we did argue this last week, and I like the fact that your eyes tell you something. We can say head-to-head should matter more than anything else, but the body of work, it still matters. So,
it will. Like, if it comes down to the final poll and it's Notre Dame will be ranked ahead of Texas A&M, they both still have one loss. There's no doubt there.
Yeah, one loss, but they'll look at strength of schedule. It all matters. All right, my Olies real quick before I get my 12 down to 9. The outside looking in, LSU falls out. They're gone right now because they couldn't gain a dang yard basically on the ground. They had basically 25 yards rushing in that game. Indiana, impressive, but I'm still keeping them out for the here and now. Notre Dame still working. Pittsburgh, 7-0, still on the outside looking in. Big game against SMU, so we'll find out. Alabama, they did their work this past week, but still on the outside looking in. So here's what I've got. The elimination game Friday night is how I qualified it. Boise State beat UNLV. And so they get, even though Ashton Genty only had 128 yards, they still. Only.
It's like a top 10 rush defense.
It was sick what he was doing up until that point, and that was a good 128 yards, fourth quarter touchdown, put him up for good. And so they're still in that 12 spot. Notre Dame in with that easy victory over Navy. Strength of schedule hurting them just a tick. I've got them 11th. BYU. Underdogs at UCF, yet still unbeaten. Malzahn, things just not good right now.
Shaky right now. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, and it was,
and their schedule's not easy the rest of the way.
It was 37-24. It wasn't even that close. So I've got BYU 10th. I've got 9th, Tennessee, and we know that they got their big ball game coming up. All right. 8-5.
Number 8, I got the second best team in the SEC. That's Texas A&M Aggies. Impressive win against LSU. At number 7. Man, I was rooting for Vanderbilt to beat them. I really was.
You weren't the only one,
Diego. I got Texas at number 7.
We're not letting go of Diego.
No, we got to hold on to him for a little bit longer. It'd be nice if Vandy they're going to make a bowl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. At number 6, I got Ohio State. And at number 5, big game, Penn State. It's going to be a big game, bro.
Better believe it.
Huge game. Penn State, Ohio State.
I want to give an addendum real quick. If Texas A&M finishes with 1 loss, they won the SEC, so they're going to be ahead of Notre Dame.
So they will be, honestly, strength of schedule will have a big play in that.
Right. I mean, the only way they have 1 loss is they went out and then beat Georgia. So they'll be, they'll probably be the 1 seed, actually, 1 or the 2 seed. So, yeah, need to throw a little addendum in there. All right, number 8, I've got Tennessee. They got to get Nico better in the pass game. You got Kentucky and Mississippi State back-to-back at home. Get ready for it. Get him more confidence. Then you go on the road against Athens and see what you can do with Georgia. 7 is Penn State. I'm still not a Penn State believer. It just doesn't look good.
Well, the injury to the quarterback is going to be a concern.
He may play.
Yeah.
Drew Allard still may play.
But they were able to get the backup in and they won.
Bill did a nice job, no doubt about it. I got Texas at 6. They're off this week, so you get a chance for Quinn Ewers to kind of rest that core injury. You know now about a core injury because you currently have one.
I don't know what I'm dealing with.
You got something. I'm telling you it's a core injury. Number 5, I got Ohio State.
All right,
and we're gonna find a lot about the $41 million program. $41 million, by the way.
That's a lot of money they spent.
I wrote about that today in USA Today. It's going to go tomorrow. They spent $20 million on the players. Okay.
20 on the players.
20 on the players, right? 10 on the head coach. 11.43 on the assistant coaches,
including Chip Kelly.
$41 million. And if they lose at Penn State this weekend, they might be out.
Oh boy, that will be real for Ryan Day. That's for sure. All right, so my 8-5. I'm putting the fighting Elkos in that 8th spot, and I'll defend it to the hilt right now, just based on the way they are playing. They may be facing a crash course against the Longhorns coming up, and I will set up a scenario where you may see A&M playing Texas multiple times down the stretch. This is a pair of teams that haven't played each other in a while after the Aggies left the Big 12. Texas is 7th. I still have them ahead of A&M, but my goodness, both of them got to prove which one is the king of the Lone Star State. I've got Ohio State still as a 1-loss team behind Penn State, so I don't mind putting the Buckeyes 6th, Penn State 5th. They took care of business at Wisconsin with their quarterback going down, and obviously this is the referendum Saturday between those two as to decide which one of those takes the driver's seat to face Oregon in the championship game. All right, 4-1.
All right, 4-1. At number 4, I got BYU, big win in the bounce house. Number 3, I got Miami. Finally stopped the streak with Florida State. Big win for the Hurricanes. Number 2, I got Oregon. And number 1, I got Georgia.
Okay. You're keeping them up top.
Keeping them up top.
Okay. All right, 4-1, Matty.
So, I got BYU at 4. And, I guess they could lose at Arizona State. Maybe. They're not going to lose at Utah. They got 2 weeks to prepare for Utah in the Holy War, which is a huge game. Mm-hmm. But this might be the worst Utah team in 2 decades.
Injuries definitely have hit them.
Have just decimated them. They're going to finish with at Utah, Kansas at home. Kansas is clearly not the same Kansas team of a couple years past. ASU might be the one game. They might lose at ASU. They've got a chance, okay?
They're a tricky team to figure out.
They are. And then they got Houston home to finish it. So they could easily go 12-0 is my point. ASU looks like the only potential hurdle for them. The Canes, we've gone through that schedule. It's Duke, it's at Georgia Tech, and then I don't even know who the other one is, and it's at Syracuse. Who's your game before at Syracuse? Which one of those pancakes are you?
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. Yeah. Thank you.
So basically,
if you're not 12-0 at the end, at the end of November, bro, just don't even come to work. Seriously. If something happens, you guys lose at Syracuse.
He's talking trash.
Don't even come to work.
Trash, man.
Because we will never let you live that down. Never.
If you can't
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, if you can't run the table on Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse, did you see what happened to Syracuse against Pitt?
We will never let you down, bro.
Holy cow.
Hey, listen, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
It is.
Exactly.
It is. All right, number 2. I got number 2, Oregon, with a testy little game this week at Michigan. Mm-hmm. Michigan can run the ball and dictate a little tempo. They got a chance to get to the fourth quarter, then you never know. Who knows, right? And then number 1, of course, the Death Star. Clear, far and away, number 1.
Well, I'm holding back on that one just to have some fun with it. My 4-1, Iowa State. Who's got it better than us, Jimmy? The Cyclones do right now because they're still in control of their own destiny, unbeaten, and the Cyclones looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned. The Canes, after 3 consecutive one-possession games, they did blow out Florida State, did exactly what you expected them to do, and don't penalize them for that. 22-point win when they were favored by 21. You got to love that. We mentioned the remaining schedule that they've got, so we'll find out what happens with them. I'm just going to put Georgia in that second spot for now as a one-loss team, and then Oregon in the top spot. They won by the 3 games before this past week by an average of 26 points, and everyone was talking about, hey, look out. They were a 21.5-point favorite against Illinois. They ended up smoking them, 38-9. Dylan Gabriel, Heisman-worthy kind of guy right now. So I don't have any problem keeping them at the top of our college football. XLP to the CFP. Those are our top 12 teams. We got to talk about a couple more of the Olies, the ones that are on the outside looking in, and we'll bring up the cocktail party. Steve Spurrier had some interesting things to say about the Gators coming into this game against the Dogs.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Players spend a lifetime building their bodies into finely tuned muscle machines.
Obviously, you want your star wide receiver to be in top physical and emotional condition.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update. Jacksonville on 1010XL.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most goals we set for ourselves have a clear path, like I want to go to Montana and see those beautiful northern lights. So you read a couple reviews, talk to some friends, save some money, and book it. Maybe have a couple choices along the way, but overall it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, talk with friends, try something out. Doesn't work. You're disappointed. We've all been there, and it blows. Stop trying that and do what I did. Reach your goal with Awaken 180 weight loss. It's the clear path to success without disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and you can too. Trust me, it was simple. A word you never hear used with weight loss programs, unless, that is, you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose a simple, clear path to success with a solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault.
Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range for our White Tag sales event. Up to 20% off all White Tag firearms all October. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and gear, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level, they've got what you need to hit your target. If you're a pro or just starting, their friendly experts will guide you at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Guns and Range, gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
When a plumbing or septic emergency happens, you want to have your ducks in a row with a company you can trust. Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services is the #1 company on the First Coast. Check out our reviews online. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Stay in touch with the stars of Coral Gables.
From South Beach to Jax Beach. Stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
On 1010XL.
I-9 Sports is getting geared up for more fun for kids all over the First Coast with winter and spring registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, and St. John's, and I-9 introducing all-girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter and all-girls flag at Nocatee, plus flag, soccer, t-ball, and basketball for boys and girls too. So don't miss out. Registration open now for winter and spring at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Hey, David, tell us a little bit about Royal Pest Services.
Well, Chris, I was raised in a middle-class family, and bugs have legs. And these bugs...
Whoa. David, just tell us about Royal Pest Services.
Just go to royalpestservices.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE Neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, we just did our XLP to the CFP. Keeps us on the college football vibe when we bring up the cocktail party. Georgia, Florida, Saturday inside Everbank Stadium. And we have fun every single year reliving the rivalry thanks to Sawgrass Asset Management. They have been members of the community supporting a lot of the big events that come to our town as often as they can. And they are certainly willing to help anybody who is interested as a high net worth investor or a institution, corporate business that wants to grow their portfolio. You can definitely check out Sawgrass Asset Management. Just log on saw-grass.com. Say hello to Dean and the entire crew over there. So right now, let's relive the rivalry, and we're going to go down the Georgia side first as we get back into this game with some of the great storylines. Hit it, RJ.
I formation again. Power to the left side on 3rd and goal. Marino up over the top. Did he break the play? Yes. Georgia, touchdown. And here comes the entire team. Watch this for excessive celebration.
Well, you've heard it a bunch. There's no question about it. They came charging onto the field. And, Leon, we all wondered what might or what could have gone wrong. If
I remember that game.
Yeah. If they decided to start swinging on each other, who knows what would have happened. But it didn't happen, thankfully.
No, I mean, nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned banter.
Yeah.
You know, pushing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Heat arrived, a little push and shove. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. A little chin music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Everything's a little rivalry until somebody takes their helmet off and starts swinging.
They didn't do that, thankfully.
They did not.
They did not.
Leon's been part of that.
I have
so
been,
he
yes.
knows exactly what we're talking about there, FIU and the U. But it was one of those where Mark Richt constantly would have to tell the story afterwards that he didn't expect the whole team to go out there. He just expected the starters to do the celebration, so on and so forth. As we have said so many times, desperate measures. And he was hoping that the sideline would head on out there and celebrate with them. But that was a big moment on the Georgia side as we relive the rivalry. Now let's go to the Florida side.
Ball's on the right hash. The snap to Trask. Trask dropping back to throw. Rainbows it down the right side for Kyle Pitts. He's got it. He's there. Touchdown. Oh, my.
Well, the great Mick Hubert.
The great Mick Hubert.
And I'm sure there are plenty of Gator fans that miss him still with his oh my's. But Kyle Pitts, Trask to Pitts was a pretty dang good connection for Florida fans. And Dan Mullen could draw it up, scheme it up, call the play at the perfect time. He was a very good play caller, and I just know it's got to be still driving Gator fans a little crazy that it just didn't work out between the two. But Trask had easily his best college year, and then Pitts drafted as the highest drafted tight end off of that season of work that he had in Gainesville. So we relive the rivalry, and before we're done today, you'll hear either the Georgia band strike up or you'll hear the Jaws from the Florida Chomp side. You hear either one of those, it's your cue to call. RJ will get you in the drawing. And this much I can tell you, we've got ducats to give away. We've got Palm Beach Autographs giving us some nice pieces of memorabilia on both sides, Florida and Georgia. So you got a chance to win one of those great prizes thanks to Sawgrass Asset Management. So when we think about it, just real quick storyline for you guys. Georgia's, you both had him number one in your XLP to the CFP. What's it going to take for Florida to stay competitive, Leon, in that football game when you think defensively they've at least stepped it up just a little bit? DJ Lagway, if he can get it going on the offensive side, what do you think is one of the keys?
I mean, the key is going to be DJ Lagway. Any quarterback's best friend is run game. You got to establish the run game. As much as Georgia is formidable on the defensive side of the ball, you can't let DJ Lagway be one-dimensional. You can't that defensive front coming after him having to throw all the time. No, you got to establish some kind of run game. And defensively, Florida's been playing better. They've been playing better defensively. So you got to. I want to say make it a game until the fourth quarter, but it's got to stay a game at least by halftime, bro.
Right. Well, we have seen Georgia at the very least stall just a little bit offensively. Remember the scoring against Texas, which was the last time we saw them. They were able to score, what was it, Matt, 4 of their 5 drives on the plus side of the field in Longhorns territory. So anyway, your key, what do you think? And obviously we'll keep doing this as we go along this week.
Key for Florida?
Because Georgia's going to do what they do. We've already, what did you call them?
Yeah, they're formidable.
Yeah, and the boogeyman, right?
And the boogeyman, the boogeyman.
What did Rusky call John Wick? Boo Yaga or something?
Yeah, something like that. That meant
Boo Yaga. I mean, they're the boogeyman.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they have to do? They got to run the ball. They've got to run the ball. And they've run the ball a lot better of late.
Yeah, Jaden Ball in particular, yeah.
Jaden Ball, right. What did I say, Jordan? Jaden Ball. He's a grown man. He's a freshman. He's a grown man. He's legit, like a legit player. So is Jackson. I like Jackson doing. He's a really good player.
And Jackson is a guy that came through.
Runs hard, man.
Yeah, through the spring, really starting to establish himself a little bit. And then so you had Jacoby, you had Trayon Webb, obviously.
Right.
And a couple of other guys that were trying to work their way in to get that rotation. And Jaden Ball just kind of popped in the end of the spring game, and he was the one that they were all buzzing about. But use them all.
I think you got to run. I think you got to do something to slow down Walker and Williams off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do something to force them to respect the fact that if they keep trying to run by you, you're going to run right at them.
Right.
And I don't know that they have the offensive line to do that. I don't think they do, okay? But I'm just saying you can't stand back there with DJ Lagway in his first moment in this series and start chucking the ball around. Yeah. You can't. That'll be disastrous.
If he can make some plays on his feet, we know how ferocious that defense for Georgia can be. And once they do get a hold of somebody, and if they get between the ear holes, in other words, they get in his head.
They made a fourth-year guy look like a freshman against Texas. Mm-hmm. And they were at home in Austin. So you've got to be able to do something to slow that rush. And the best way to do that is to run the ball. But I just don't know if they can.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to, and we'll look forward to it. Each day we will relive the rivalry with Sawgrass Asset Management, and you got a chance whenever you hear the Gator Chomp or you hear the Georgia Band strike up. I got a feeling one of those might be coming during this commercial break, so keep listening. It is XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
The inflation fighter is back and saving you thousands at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, just $500 down and $288 per month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month. You also get no payments till January 2025. It's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjax.com for details. That's bestbetjax.com.
Chelsea here. Florida homeowners, are your windows working as hard as they should? With Renewal by Anderson, our energy-efficient custom windows and doors help keep the cool air in during those scorching months. That means lower energy bills and a more comfortable home year-round. For the month of October, Renewal by Anderson has a limited time offer. Buy 4 windows and or patio doors and get the 5th one free. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. That's bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 29, 2018, Golden State shooting guard Klay Thompson breaks NBA record for most three-pointers in a game with 14 in the Warriors game against the Bulls.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
If you're searching for a new fence installation, challenge yourself to find a fence company with more positive online reviews than Superior Fence and Rail. With over 3,000 reviews and a 4.9 out of 5 review range, Superior Fence and Rail is, well, superior. So take the online challenge or let their professional team show you what superior service looks like. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
NFL analyst Bucky Brooks on the issues with the 2-6 Jaguars.
To me, a lot of it comes down to, in pro football terms, we talk about the DBOs. Don't beat ourselves. There are a handful of things that you want to eliminate if you want to win. Great coaches will tell you before you can win, you have to learn how to avoid losing. And a lot of that comes down to the things that you can control. And for us, the DBOs continue to pop up over and over again, and those are the turnovers, the pre-snap/foolish penalties, and then the big plays allowed. If you commit egregious errors in any of those categories, you're going to lose games.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
A 1-2 offering from Schmidt. Freddie swings and belts the ball right field, hooking toward the corner. Hello, short porch, and hello, Freddie Freeman. For a third straight game in this World Series. 5 straight World Series games overall. Freddie Freeman goes deep. A 2-run blast from Freddie, and a 2-0 lead in the first inning.
You have home runs in each of the 3 World Series games. You didn't have an extra base hit in the first 2 rounds. Is it that your ankle is feeling that much better, or have you simply learned to deal with it?
No, my ankle is that much better, and that's because the days off, I was able to calm it down, get some treatment, and then I was able to work on my swing. That's the key. So just been able to find my cue, and, I've been seeing the ball pretty good.
The great Freddie Freeman in Dodger blue. He is balling right now. Grand slam, home run. How's your World Series going? Yeah. That's how it's going for Freddie Freeman. And it was a 4-0 lead until a 2-run shot with 2 outs in the 9th, which at least eliminated the shutout for the Yankees. But, yeah, that short porch, they transferred it from old Yankee Stadium to new Yankee Stadium, and Freddie taking full advantage of that. It was something, and now the Dodgers are up 3-0 and looking to see if they can win the World Series.
Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right. Well, my takeaway is that it's taxing to me that this organization over the last 2 years went 9-8, 9-8. Now we're in a situation, very disappointing situation, where it's a rummage sale. All right. We're giving away, but we haven't given away anybody. But we're in a situation right now where we could be moving some moving parts, could be going elsewhere, and I don't understand how. If you're a 2-6 team and I'm a viable team, I would not come shopping in Jacksonville. I would not bring that funk into my locker room.
You don't want that?
I don't want the funk. I'm just saying, bro. I don't want the funk. And I hate saying that. It hurt my heart to say it, but it's true.
Yeah, and that's where they are. But other teams, depending on the talent that they need or the position they're in most need of, they might pick up the phone. We'll see. Matty?
I mean, they've lost 11 of their last 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's all kinds of bad.
Well, you figure as we started the beginning of this year, they lost they went 1-5 down the stretch to end the year and started this year 1-5, and now here they are 1-1 since then.
So my takeaway is from left to right, Austin Barber, Kanaja Harris, Jake Slaughter, Damian George, Cameron Waits. Those guys got to do it for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, they got to do it for Florida.
Yeah.
If you want any chance of being in that game in the fourth quarter, you've got to be able to run the ball in Georgia, and you've got to be able to protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
And that, as much as anything, we harp on the operational mess that Florida has been under Billy Napier, and it has. It's been horrific at times.
Yeah, no argument.
But an argument could be made that the reason it's been so bad, they've had just terrible offensive lines. Terrible. Now this year, the last 3 games, they're starting to move people a little bit. And I think they're starting to have a little confidence in what they're doing in the offense they're running. I don't know how that's going to translate to Georgia.
Right.
I don't know how it would translate to Texas. I think you got a chance for it to translate well against LSU or Ole Miss. Maybe. You can beat FSU. Let's see. I think we're going to have a better idea of what Florida is for the remainder of the season after Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they get their doors blown off, they're in trouble. They may not win again. But if they play Georgia well and it just falls apart in the fourth quarter, I could see them beating Florida State. I could see them beating LSU or Ole Miss, maybe even both of them. And then you're talking about, a 7-win team. Yeah, then you're talking about a 7-win team, and he's not going anywhere at that point.
Yeah, job saver. You hurt my heart there just for 1 second. The possibility that it might stay the same instead of change. My takeaway is that when I'll just follow what you're saying, is that you will obviously get a little bit clearer picture of what he is and what he's done in this program in the coming games. But the shame of it is, if he were to flash here or there with the team's performance, it still drives, I would think, a lot of people that are Gator fans, alumni, whomever, drive them crazy that it took this long to reach that point. You're supposed to begin the build as soon as you get there. You have a plan. That's why you were hired. And even Mario Cristobal, who struggled in his first 2 years, turned a major corner in his third year. Mike Norvell turned a corner, got to 10 wins in his third year, got them to the undefeated ranks in his fourth year. We all know what's happened to him this year. It's fallen off. But that's all you're looking for. You can't go 2.5+ seasons and then think, wait a minute, I'm starting to see some signs, and feel like you ultimately have solved your problems. A lot of people are also talking about, if Billy goes, so does DJ go. I don't know that that's necessarily true. It really will depend.
No, I don't think that's true.
It really will depend a lot on who they hire and what that person represents.
It's going to depend on cash. They're going to pay him whatever he wants.
True. That's definitely going to be a part of the equation. But as it's been whispered on the show by the Whisperer, there are others that are ready to pay too.
Sure, there are. Of course, Texas A&M will give him whatever he wants.
Right, just to pluck him. That's for sure. But heck, now they got Marcel Reed, they may not.
Yeah, true.
You never know.
He's a freshman. That's very true.
All right. I got to read this one off the text line. Design my lifetime enclosures. This one got a couple of us, which cracked me up. Matt, you were great on Feinbaum yesterday. So you were having your appearance with
Right.
Paul.
Yeah.
So he was loving on you there. He said the game that we just played, one of the highlights, reliving the rivalry with Trask, was one of 2 games that Georgia has lost in 5 seasons. In the regular season, he said, look, I love every single victory. I do not take any victory for granted. When you wait 40 years like I did, then you get to live these
That's a
years
dog
that I'm
right there,
living
man.
now
That's a
as a
dog.
true 100% Bulldog fan. Then he says, Joe Cowart, every day dreaming about Georgia losing and hearing how depressed he is and how crappy the Gators are makes my day. So we will find out whether or not he has them with a big win Saturday in the cocktail party. We will see.
This is the time of year when Georgia has typically ratcheted up against everyone, not just Florida. But this is the game where they start to turn it on.
Well, if that's true, that's usually when they wick it up. You are correct about that.
And honestly, the 2020 game, I mean, they were down. They were down 38-14 at half. They were up 14-0 in that game, or 14. Wasn't it 14-0?
They jumped out early.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Stetson threw a pick, and he got his shoulder hurt, and it's all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There was all kind of stuff going on in that game. That game was not the 38-14 whitewash that it looked like in the first half. It was a lot closer than that.
All right, just a couple in the Jaguar realm, Big Search, because we did our Here Comes the Judge earlier about who might go. There's a lot of thoughts out there off of our text line, off the chat, just basically talking about Devin Lloyd's performance, Cisco's performance. Another one, let's be honest, the interior offensive line has been the most consistent piece of this team this season. So that has been a plus, but the offensive tackles, not so much. So trying to figure out exactly where they will go if they are going to try and move anybody. One texter, did Leon just say Cam plays when he wants to, but is consistent? Just checking. So it's scary when we saw him play 3 really bad games.
Yeah.
And then not turn it on, but straighten things out. And he played better until he found himself in.
Well, I mean, it was impossible for him to play any worse than he played those first 3 games. Impossible.
Very true.
But it was refreshing to see him bounce back from it, especially that Buffalo game. That Buffalo game was atrocious, where he was getting beat around the corner. Him and Anton Harrison, quite frankly. But no, I mean, when I say that Cam has periods where, he looks below average, and then he has periods in the game where he looks dominant. And
really good, yeah.
My problem with him is that he's comfortable with that. No, if you want to be an elite, now he got paid like an elite tackle.
Right.
Nowadays, you can be average and get paid a lot of money. Back in my day. I'm just saying, you had to be good to get paid. I'm just saying. But I'm saying he has the potential to where he could be a dominant offensive lineman. I think just more times than not, he chooses not to be.
Kansas City, texter, my Chiefs could desperately use a left tackle. So we'll find out whether or not he goes there or not, or whether someone would be looking.
When you say he chooses not to be, what you're saying is he chooses not to prepare. What you're saying?
Well, I'm saying that it's times where I see Cam go up against a defender and I see him hit him and physically just handle him.
Right.
I need to see that more. And then I see times where he just get beat around the corner, get beat on the inside move, or just technical errors.
What, is that laziness, or is it he's just not prepared?
That's not caring enough. That's not caring enough.
Yeah, it's just a whole big ball of bad wax.
Yeah, it's not caring enough.
Yeah.
Because if you cared enough, you'll get it done.
Because I think it starts with that right there, not caring. So then maybe you don't prep as well as you should.
Right.
You think you're doing all the work.
And then you get lazy.
Yeah, and you can convince yourself you're doing all the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about your old man with the homework?
Yeah.
I studied.
Right.
Yeah. What'd you get? What grade did you get?
Right. Well, then you didn't study.
Right. And so it starts with that. Do you care? And then it just.
Well,
comes
I
back
just
to
like
all
this.
the way.
I like to see him, play with an edge. Play with an edge. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna pat myself. I hated who I played against every time. I tried to physically dismantle whoever was across from me each and every play.
Mm-hmm.
And I just played hard.
Right.
And I wanted the physicality.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my game was about. That's what I want from Cam. But Baselli was the same way. He wanted you to be physical.
Right. Come at me.
Because I'm coming.
Yeah.
Because if you don't come, you're going to get embarrassed.
Right. Yeah. And one of the texters, I'm fine with the Jaguars making some trades before the deadline, but I want someone other than Balky to pull the trigger. He's not going to look to the future of this franchise. Well, that's the scary part. You don't have anybody else that you get to lean on right now. He's not getting bounced out of the building, at least not right now. Mm-hmm. And so you've got to, if you're going to make a move, he's going to be the one that's going to basically figure out what you're going to accept and what you're willing to give up. That's just the way it is right now. I hope moving forward, he's able to at least create some draft capital. And then, as I've maintained, Shad Khan needs to make one of the most important decisions he's made since buying the team, and it rivals the importance that he made when actually making that decision. I'm going to buy this team. This is a damn important decision coming up.
Right, but as Carline said yesterday when we were doing the crossover, their last 5 games, they could win 4 or 5. Now, they might also just be completely checked out at that point if they're 2-10. But if they're not, let's say they're 3-9, and they win, 4 of their last 5, and they're 6-11, that might sway him a little bit. We're just a couple years away, maybe. No. It's got to be over, man. It's got to be over for everybody. I don't want the guy convincing Shad that this is the best roster he's ever had, or this franchise has ever had. It's 11 of 14 and counting right now. Still holding the keys. That's the way you got to look at it. It's not 2-6. It's 11 of 14 they've lost.
Right. Yeah, and you cannot get away from that.
No.
You cannot escape 1 win to end the year, 2 wins to start the year.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
1 win to end the year, 2 wins to start the year. That's a Luke Combs country song right there. I can count on one hand the things I can count on. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty low number deep. Right there. The Embedded and Shredded joins us now.
Yeah. It's
You can't walk away from that, right? Yeah. 11 of 14 is you can't get away from that.
Without
You're starting to assess everything, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're all getting fired. I would be stunned. Right. It would take, honestly, completely inept ownership for any cog to be retained here. And I don't think yes, in the past, Shad Khan has been maybe more patient than he should have been. I don't think you guys have to worry about it this time. I mean, if they continue down this road and they don't rally, and it doesn't look like they're going to, I just can't imagine. As much as he doesn't want to do it, I can't imagine Shad Khan will not fire Trent Baalke, obviously fire Doug Peterson, and bring in a completely new vision of Jaguars football. I mean, this is still a business. You still have to convince people to spend their disposable income on your product. And if Trent Baalke is back in 2025, I think you're going to see apathy unlike anything they've seen.
What's the worst thing that can creep in?
Apathy. Any sports team.
Yeah.
At any level.
Yeah. That would be no bueno.
Yeah, and so I just think that it's not something that Shad's going to enjoy, and he's going to have to clear his calendar in January. But I think he's going to have to, go relaunch the operation. I mean, it's just it's too far gone to salvage any of it. And you guys make the point. Well, make the point. I mean, if you keep Trent Baalke, you think Ben Johnson's coming here to work under Trent Baalke? Do you think
he chases Johnson
from
Jacksonville
with an option is going to come here? You're going to end up getting the last guy on the carousel that it was his only offer, and he wants to be one of the 32, so he's going to take the job because he wants to be an NFL head coach. That's not where you want to be. Yeah. You want to go get the cutting edge guys, the top of the line candidates. And you need a fresh GM, and we've talked about it. It's a beautiful thing for the Jaguars. Just again, look at the Lions. You can go hire their assistant GM, who you have to think then gets you a leg up on the race to get Ben Johnson. Yeah. And so again, will that work? Who knows? But it's the best option.
Yes.
I mean, your odds are probably the highest if that's the path you take. So we'll get into all that coming up
I will tell
on
you
the
this.
Francis Show. Matt Hayes will join us to talk SEC football.
If he's busy and his calendar's busy in January, we'll do it for him.
Yeah.
I'll find him a coach and a GM.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy to help.
Yes.
We can handle it.
For free, actually. I'll do it
I
pro
don't want
bono.
any money. I just want a good football team.
All right, you're hitting
Thank
that
you, guys.
and everything
Yes.
else. All right, he knows. Oh, Hayes, Branch, JJ, they got it all coming up. And we had a good time with all y'all, that's for sure. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show any day. They would love to take care of you online, beaverchevrolet.com, Beaver Toyota, staugustine.com. And they are there every day but Sunday to make sure you have a great buying experience. We're out. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, RJ. And you got the Francis Show coming up.